Hey, Ron, what do you say to a woman with 2 black eyes?
Do you need an ice pack?
No, Ron, you don't tell her anything. She's already been told twice.
Oh, that's a good one, Harry.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Want to hear a joke, Hermione?
Sure, Harry.
Women's rights. Ho 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 ho.
That's not funny, Harry. Do you know all the hard work that was put into gaining women's rights?
Hermione, I don't care about you stupid women and your stupid rights. I'm just telling a few jokes because I'm Harry Potter.
Hermione, I'm just trying to impress you, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Shut up, Ron. You're filth. Women's rights are completely rubbish.
Did I hear somebody say women's rights?
I did, Professor. Don't you agree with me that women's rights are just as good as a blast-ended skirt?
Actually, no, considering that I'm very in tune with my feminine side. I actually majored in women's rights at Wizard University.
That's really cool, Professor. Can you tell us about it?
Why, sure, Ronald. I was actually thinking about starting a women's rights group here at Hogwarts.
That sounds like a great idea. I'll be the president.
Screw you guys. Maybe Neville will agree with me.
Welcome to the first meeting of the Wizarding Women's Social and Political Union at Hogwarts School for Witchcraft and Wizardry.
That's a mouthful.
It's a working title.
I'd like to welcome our newest members, Luna Lovegood and Ginny Weasley.
What is this unconventional gathering of flamboyant people?
It's our women's rights group.
It's rubbish.
Women's rights, eh? Why are women such bad drivers?
I don't know, but I want to find out.
Because there's no road from the bedroom to the kitchen.
That was actually a good one, Professor.
Order, order! I'd like to introduce our first speaker, me! We all know why we're here.
I don't.
According to the handbook, which I made last night, on page 498 it says, since the beginning of time, women have been viewed as inferior to men. The suffragettes of the early 1900s decided that enough was enough, and universal suffrage should include women as well. Through protest, militant action, and publicity, women were able to voice their opinions in a male-dominated society. Even today, we still see traces of sexism and misogyny in society. Let's take a look on the magical wizard television.
Want to dance, Fly?
Ordinarily, I would say no, but you need to move to reduce lactic acid buildup. Also, the song is fantastic.
Mind if I steal my wife?
You can't steal what is legally your property.
That was great.
To help kick off our first meeting, I decided to bring in Emmeline Pankhurst for more information concerning the women's rights movement. I'm going to suck her from her own time and into the present. Flex Capitorioris!
Whoa! By Edward VII, where am I?
That doesn't matter. Do you remember me, sweet Emmeline?
Why, yes. Albus, you haven't changed a bit.
How do you know her, Professor?
I dated her in college, way back in 1885.
Oh, so that's how you majored in women's rights.
Miss Pankhurst, we brought you here to discuss your involvement in the women's rights movement.
And to discuss your ravishing figure.
Oh, Albie Bear.
Can you tell us a bit about the Women's Social and Political Union and the difficulties you face in campaigning for women's suffrage?
Why, yes, Hermione. I don't know why I know your name. I founded the WSPU with my daughter Chrisabel in 1903. We used direct action campaigns to get publicity. During some of our protests, we were even thrown in jail.
How frightening! Egads.
Egads indeed. But prison didn't stop our protests. Our greatest weapon behind bars were hunger strikes. We refused to eat anything the prison guards gave us, to the point where they had to force-feed us. It was torture. They had these big tubes that they shoved down our throats.
Poor Emmykins! Oh!
What other kinds of things did you do for campaigns?
It was about more than just getting the right to vote. We protested for our personal and sexual freedoms.
That's the only thing women are good for.
Righto, Potter.
Don't agree with me.
We would chain ourselves to miscellaneous objects to prove a point.
If your wife keeps coming out of the kitchen to nag you, what have you done wrong?
I can't imagine, Potter.
Made the chain too long.
I don't get it, Harry.
Shut up, Ron.
Don't listen to those ignorant fools, Miss Pankhurst. Please continue.
Well, many suffragists disapproved of our WSPU tactics because they found them undignified and class-based. It wasn't practical for working-class women to be in the clink all the time. We were thrown in jail quite frequently because we had no freedom of speech. You shouldn't speak unless spoken to.
Hear, hear.
We were often beaten in prison and during protests. Some men saw this as extremely brutal and wanted to put a stop to it. Many wrote to the Prime Minister on our behalf. I spent a cumulative time of 3 years in prison doing the movement. When the Cat and Mouse Act was passed in Parliament, it made it impossible for us suffragettes to use the hunger strikes as protest because we would still have to spend our allotted time in prison.
That sounds dreadful.
It gets worse. Some women took women's suffrage to the next level. In 1913, Emily Wilding Davison lost her life trying to stop the King's horse at a Derby race. It was pretty graphic.
Yes, we know.
Finally, after years of hard work, World War I saw the advancement of the equality of women. Women had been slowly making progress in fields that were gendered male since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. While men went off to war, women took over their jobs, and in January of 1917, unmarried women over the age of 30 gained the right to vote. They were trying to keep us a minority. It wasn't until 1928 that the voting age was reduced to 21, opening up suffrage to all women.
Hooray!
Yes, woo-hoo! Now if you don't mind, I have to go commit some arson to prove a point. Would you mind sending me back to my own time?
Oh, sure. Thank you for coming to talk with us about your work for women's rights.
Well, you're very welcome, but now I really must be going.
Goodbye! DeLorean Aureus! I'm really going to miss her.
Well, that was certainly a productive meeting.
Indeed. Dinner time!
Potter, you and I are the only ones who have any sense here.
Well, screw that. I don't want to be stuck in a corner with you.
Now let's have a dance party in London. Yeah! Harry Potter! Yeah! Harry Potter! That's me! My name is Harry Potter, I'm the king of the school. I'm better than everybody in the school. I'm hip and I'm awesome, all the girls know my name. Harry Potter, that is my name. Harry Potter, Harry Potter. Do the shooby-doo-wop. Shooby-doo-wop, shooby-doo-wop. Yeah! I defeated Voldemort when I was a baby. I was even awesome when I was a baby. Both my parents died when I was a baby. I grew up abused without any love. Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter. That's me! You guys are my best friends, you know that? Oh, Harry. You're gonna be all right, Harry. My boy. Yes. We'll always love you, Harry. Yes, we will. I love you too. Lose some weight before you hug me, Ron. Mm-hmm.